The Brockton Buster, Rocky Marciano, is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but unfortunately, he is not represented as such in Undisputed. So I am here today to talk about Rocky Marciano in Undisputed and kind of give my thoughts on what I might change, what I want to add, take away from Rocky Marciano in Undisputed. Let's go ahead and get right into it, man. As you guys can see on the screen right here, I have Rocky Marciano. And let's talk about some of the stuff right off the top. Some of the like really important stuff I think is really essential for Rocky Marciano in a video game, right? All right, so here we go, man. So right off the top, his vitality, which is overall at 90, I think is way too low. I think he has to have he should have really good health stats, I think, in my personal opinion. Like, I think he should have like ridiculous health stats. Like, let's just take a look at Joe Frazier's real quick, for example. Joe Frazier has a 91 vitality, which is better than Rocky Marciano. I think Rocky needs to be like overall like 95-ish for vitality, give or take. I think he needs to be like very durable in that sense. Same thing goes for his conditioning and his stam, right? Like 87 conditioning, 88 endurance, 90 stam on Rocky Marciano.
Lord Jesus.
Disrespectful. I mean, it's really just disrespectful. He's one of the best conditioned athletes as far as boxing goes of all time, right? So super disrespectful in my opinion. I give him at least like, I mean, you really could give him upwards to like the 96, 97 range in some of these stats, to be honest. Like, his conditioning should be extremely high. For this track, I probably would say maybe like 91 stam. I think his stam is pretty decent where it could be, but his endurance needs to be like 93-ish and conditioning needs to be like I would almost say 99 conditioning, honestly, for Rocky Marciano. Like, as far as conditioning goes, I think conditioning should be 99. He's one of the best conditioned athletes of all time, in my opinion. Now, this category right here, the speed category, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. This is ridiculous. There is no way that, I don't know, his stats got swapped with somebody else or something, but this is like in all of the game right now, this might be one of the worst like stats for a boxer in the game currently. Placeholder or not, because all these stats are a work in progress, as they've stated, but this has to be one of the worst like stats for any boxer in the game. Rocky Marciano has 97 agility, 96 movement speed. No! This is Rocky Ali. This is crazy. This is more along the lines of somebody like Ali, maybe Larry Holmes. I would expect to have these type of stats, but Rocky Marciano, no, stop it. I think they need to drop his speed overall to like the mid 80s, like dip, you know what I mean? Punch speed not in the 90s. I think his punch speed, if we're being generous, 86, 85, around that range, if we're being generous. Accuracy can stay around the same spot. I don't mind the accuracy being around there. I don't know why accuracy is in the speed category, low-key. I don't know why that's a thing, but overall, I think accuracy at 93, okay, you know, you got me there, sure. But movement speed 96, stop. He's not that fast. Stop it. Movement speed needs to be more like, man, movement speed needs to be low 80s, honestly. Low 80s. I'm sorry. I really am, but like 83-ish, maybe? Low 80s for sure, though, no doubt. And then his agility, also too high. I think around that same level, low to mid 80-ish on the agility as well. Too high in that aspect as well. He needs to come down in that area a lot. His loose movement is way too good. He should not be fast in loose movement. He was not that type of boxer. But I digress. All right, now coming to the strength stats, right? So a couple things right off the bat. I guess we're going to go from top to bottom. Left hand power, I would put that maybe 85, 86. But if you want to keep it at 84, I'm not going to argue too much on that because it's close to what I think as well. So I won't argue too much on that. Now, right hand power, I honestly think his right hand power could be like 97 or above, to be honest. He's one of the hardest hitters ever. You know what I mean? So I definitely think 97. I wouldn't even say 96. 96 is too low in my opinion. 97 or up. You can really make an argument for the 99 like stat for his power. He's one of the hardest hitters ever. So I definitely say like 97 on that right hand power would be like where I'd have him. His hooks, 94 is a good number. It's a good number, but I would say 97. Yeah, 97-ish for his hooks, and then I would bring his uppercuts up a lot. His uppercuts are disrespected. I would think 97 for his hooks, 95, 96 for his uppercuts. His straights, straight isn't bad. but it's not that good either, so I would leave that around the same. And I think I jumped over the jab. His jab is kind of where it needs to be, maybe a little bit lower, honestly, because he can have a great jab. But me personally, maybe like low 80s on his jab, you know, to compensate for him having such like good hooks and uppercuts. And then on to his power punch. Now this is gonna be the topic of discussion, right? Me personally, he was a heavy hitter. I think the heavy hitter should have like 97 and up. I think if I can say any stat for you and say you're one of the best in history, you should be 97 and up in that category, right? So Ali is the perfect example. If I say Ali had one of the best jabs in boxing history, he needs to have like 97 or up. Like he has a 98 jab in this game, I believe. So his power punch, I know why they have it at 90. It's to balance out this trait. Let's just jump into the trait real quick. It's to balance out this trait right here. Powerhouse, right? Now, I'm gonna get to powerhouse in a second, so just bear with me. Just bear with me. Let's go back to the stat itself. Power punch, I would put it up to 96, honestly. I'd have it like 95, 96, because power punchers, you feel like they hit very hard when they go for a power shot, right? But bear, I know what you're thinking about the stats, you know, how's it gonna balance out with powerhouse? Just bear with me, I'm gonna get to that in one second. And then counter punching, I got really no problems with that, you know, you can keep it around that range if you want to, sure thing. All right, now to the defense. Now, Rocky wasn't a defensive mastermind. He was just on you, you know, gonna crack you. So I definitely think his guarding, you could argue an 89. I wouldn't really argue that too much. But really in this category, the two things that stuck out to me the most, maybe the three, but the two biggest ones for me is his chin resistance and his body resistance. I think both of those need to be 95 plus, but if you want to go bare minimum, 95 on chin and body resistance easily, like easily. You could argue for even higher, honestly. I would go 95 on both of those without a doubt. And his cut resistance, I just bump up maybe like 1 or 2, 85, 86. So that's about the range that you would think. And then his heart. Like this is like one of the categories, like how do you, like you gotta have this like crazy high Rocky Marciano. He has like some of the best heart like ever. So his courage, I definitely think needs to be like 99. Like Rocky had heart. He arguably had like the most heart of any boxer, of any all-time great at least. So Rocky, I think, needs 99 courage. His block health and his block regeneration, I might go 95 each, honestly, because he was that man, dude. He was that dude. One of the all-time greats, like I said. But that's kind of the things I would change for Rocky Marciano. Overall wise, I'm not paying attention to overalls because I really don't care about the overalls at all, really. I care more about the stats and how that plays into the game plan and the gameplay of the boxer. So whether he goes higher, lower for any of these boxers I'm making these videos for, whether it drops their overall, makes it higher, whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want them to play and simulate as they should feel in game. Which brings me to his traits, right? So traits for Rocky Marciano. He has Lionheart, which is definitely earned, I think. He definitely needs Lionheart. Now this trait right here, I have a little bit of problems with Powerhouse. Specifically because one, power punches are not good in the game right now currently. They're like very underutilized because they're not really worth going for in its current state. Because they take so much stam, and then the animation itself, besides the power jab and the power straight, the animations themselves are just so slow. It's just not worth going for them right now. But I don't like the ability, like having Powerhouse on a power puncher like Rocky Marciano, or any power puncher in general, to be honest. I don't like the damage reduction of his normal punches by 10%. I don't like that. Alright, like check this out, right? So his right hand power is 93. And let's just say it bumps up to what I want it to be around, which is about 97-ish for his power, right? Then on his regular punches, he'd only be doing 87 damage on his punches. He had like 87 power because of the 10% reduction, which doesn't make any sense to me. If you're a heavy hitter, you should hit like a heavy hitter. Like people who have that power in their hand, who have got stones in their hands, everything hurts. Everything hurts. It's not just, they only just hurt you by winding up and throwing a big shot to hurt you. They hurt you with everything they touch you with. So I don't really like the damage reduction on this trait. I would much rather them drop the 20% increase of damage for the power punches, drop that to 10%, and then take off the reduction on the normal punches. That way he always feels like he's going to hurt you with his punches. And then he hits you with a power shot, it really hurts, right? So I would definitely have them drop the increase of the power punches to 10%, and then get rid of the reduction on the normal punches. Heavy hitters actually feel like heavy hitters. And then I would also add on the body worker trait to Rocky Marciano as well. I would definitely add on the body worker trait, and honestly I'd add on a trait maybe for his cardio as well, where I think tireless is one of the traits. I forgot the exact description of that one, but I definitely would add on some type of cardio trait for Rocky Marciano as well. Because the man just didn't get tired. He could carry his power all 15. So I would definitely add on something like that as well when it comes to Rocky Marciano. But with that being said, that's pretty much going to do it for what I got for Rocky Marciano as far as the actual attributes go. And then I'll just toss this in at the end because it's just kind of something not every boxer will have, like these kind of quirks that I'm talking about right now. But I definitely think the animations for Rocky Marciano could be cleaned up a little bit more and kind of changed in a bit. One specifically I would like to see if they could implement his Susie Q punch in some manner, or some way to get that type of animation in there for Rocky Marciano, because it's such a trademark punch for Rocky Marciano, you know what I mean? I definitely think that would be a good idea to get in there. I definitely think he needs to be like his actual idol animation. As far as his movement goes, he needs to be hunched over a little bit more, kind of like, more aggressive looking in that manner. They definitely could work on that as well. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, his movement animations, he's too fast. His movement animation, loose movement, he really shouldn't even have loose movement, if we're being honest, but they're going to keep it in there. He should be very slow when he goes into loose movement, because he shouldn't have it to begin with, in my personal opinion. But that's really all my thoughts on Rocky Marciano as it stands. I think if they fixed those couple of things I mentioned, he would get picked a lot more, because even if you're smaller, you're shorter than a lot of the other boxers in the division, once you get inside, you would really do damage like that. It's going to hurt, when you get on the inside. But as it stands right now, it's just not conducive to his playstyle or just using him in general. So I definitely think those are things I can add to the gameplay and add to him personally to make him a better pick in this game, because he should be really good in a game like Undisputed. But those are just my personal thoughts. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree with what I said. If you guys have any more suggestions on what they can do to kind of fix Rocky Marciano, so to speak, definitely leave them in the comment sections down below, and also subscribe if you guys are new. Make sure to hit that like button, man. We're gonna have more of these coming out in the future, man. So stay, on the notification bell, stay up to date with those, and yeah, man, we'll go from there. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up for this video, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.